Hello everyone, this is none other than HooHooFish, here today bringing you a video on how to make money with your Minecraft server. So let's just jump right into this. Now some of you guys just are trying to run your Minecraft server, have some fun with your friends. I mean, you don't want to have too many people on your server. Some of you just maybe are running it for fun. You aren't interested in making a ton of money off of it, you know. But then some of you guys are in it to make the money. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a couple of methods on how you can make that money. So, I'm going to run you through 3 simple steps on how you can actually just get some money made on your server. And this is going to require a lot of work and time and effort. It's not going to be just lickety-split. It's going to take some time and effort. So, let's just start off with step 1 right here. Step 1 is to find a good server host that you can count on, that's reliable, that has good customer service, and that is dependable, and that you just think that it's a good company, it's a good server host. And either that, or you need to be confident in your ability to host a server from your own home, or wherever you want to host it from. So, yeah. And you need to make sure, on top of the fact that it's a good host, in the respect that its customer service is good and that its reliability of the hardware is good, you want to make sure that its cost is something that's realistic and that is low or on par with everyone else that you could find. And spend a little bit of time making sure that it's a good host and that it's a host that has some good pricing in comparison to other hosts. And yeah, so that's just step 1. And you want to spend enough time on your host, and it's very important because you don't want to have a bad host, because it kind of leads into all the other steps that I'm going to talk about. Yeah, so if you have a bad host that, say, your server crashes a lot, then your players aren't going to like it, and it's just not good, just frustrating for you. So spend a good enough amount of time on your host. And so it's also important, the price of it, because the less money that you spend on your server hosting, the more money that is going to be able for you to devote into plugins, some expensive plugins that you need to get for extra things. Say like Buycraft, that's a couple of dollars a month. You can use that money to devote into there. Also, it increases your net income just because you're spending less money. It's more money you have to keep, and everybody knows saving and making money is good. So that's step number 1. Now, step number 2 is, after you find your good host, you need to make sure that your players are happy, that they're satisfied. You need to get the players on as well. You need to be able to create a server that's enjoyable for the people to play. If you got on your server and you said, wow, this is a great server, I want to play on it, and you had fun playing it, then guess what? You've succeeded as a server owner. If you enjoy your server, if you think it's a cool idea, if you were a player on your server and you're having fun on it, that's a really good thing. That is kind of a signal that you have succeeded in your own way. And most of the time, I'm saying 99% of the time, if you feel like you've succeeded and you have been happy with yourself and what you've done, then other people are going to think that you have done well. If you are enjoying what you do if you're enjoying your server, if you're playing on it, then guess what? Other people are probably going to enjoy it too. So if you want to know how you can run yourself a successful Minecraft server, you can go ahead and I'll have a link in the description leading to my how to run a successful Minecraft server video, and I give you some pretty good tips there to tell you on how you can actually do that. So yeah, and that's vital because you need a good player base. You need a lot of people who will consider spending money in order to make money. So yeah, I'll tell you how to get a decent player base, and yeah. So once you find your good host, then you're going to watch my How to Run a Successful Minecraft server video and do everything that I say there to get your server good. Because you need a good server. You can't just throw out crap on a plate and then expect people to eat it. You got to have a good server for people to want to spend money on it. Be realistic here. If you were playing on a server and it wasn't fun, would you spend, say, $5 on it? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. If it was an amazing server, you might spend 10. I mean, just depending on how much money you have. Yeah. So, though, that's what you need to do. And the final step is fairly simple, but it requires a lot of creativity. You need to come up with good donation packages that are fairly cheap at first. You can raise the price over time, but at the start, you want to just have a lot of people donating for something that is fairly cheap. And it has to be something that is good, that's fun to use, and it needs to be marketed well, and it has to be something that's interesting and that isn't so generic. So what I did on my server is that the other owner and I came up with the idea of God Armor, which is where we sold these items. It was Protection 10 armor, diamond armor, and Sharpness 10 swords. So it was pretty amazing. We do slash enchant natural all with the plugin called Tim the Enchanter, and it gives it tons of random enchantments. So what it would do is that it would give all the armor, fire aspect, and sharpness 4, and sharpness 5, which was really amazing. So what people would be doing, and it was just a heck of a lot of fun. So people would just be running around. You'd see people fighting each other with like boots, and they'd just be kicking ass. So yeah, that was a lot of fun for people, just because it's something that's interesting, something that's kind of funny to watch, something that's funny to use, and people found that pretty interesting and they liked it. So people donated because it was also very powerful armor, and it was, if your faction had it, because ours was a faction PvP server, then yeah, that was good. If it's a building server or whatever, if it's a server that's based on building, then you need to come up with some donation packages. Say you get a new rank of like to Builder Plus, and you get these extra commands that are fun to use. Just something that's different. Or maybe you get access to this certain area of like your spawn that is reserved for people who have donated. Just little perks on top of just everything, just to make donating worthwhile. And yeah, and you can't just use ideas that other people have had like completely. You need to somewhat change them just a little bit, or yeah, you just need to take the idea, change it a little bit, see if it works. If it doesn't, just change it around. Keep on changing ideas, because usually, if ideas have been used before, then people are not going to like them that much. And if you are going to just copy someone else's idea, just take it from a server that's doing really well. And that's doing really well, yeah. But don't take it from a server that's got 100 players, because guess what? They have gotten to the point where their players are loyal, and there's a bunch of players, so they can do virtually whatever they want to their players and their donations and still make a decent amount of money, because there's always crazy people who are willing to spend tons of money on your Minecraft server. So yeah. Now, if you have gotten to the point eventually where you have about 100 players on your server, a good player base that is stable, you can start jacking up your prices. That's where you can just jack up your prices. Say what you originally charged $5, charge $15 for. Just do something like that. And people still will probably end up buying. And yeah, you can also use a plugin called Buycraft, which I highly recommend. It makes donations very easy for players to use, and really that's very important, that donating is easy, that it's not a hassle, and that it's not too complicated for their players. So Buycraft is certainly a way that gets that job done. People can just type in-game commands, then it forwards them a link they click on, then they can confirm everything, enter in their PayPal information or credit card, then boom, the money gets forwarded to your PayPal account. Really, really good. So yeah, you can come up with Buycraft. You can use it to create donation packages that say, well, and it manages it all for you. You just say I want a donation package to be created. So you for 1 month, you pay $20 and you can type /kit armor. You get prot 3 armor, protect, and a sharpness 4 sword with fire aspect, and you can do that once a day for a month straight. And yeah, so you can tell it to do that, and once a month goes by, and he has to pay another $15 if he wants to continue with that, or however much you want to set for the price, and you can type in whatever they get. It just involves some setup. So yeah, and that kind of provides you some long-term money. So if a person who really likes donating and is flexible with their money, they can, instead of just donating once for something awesome, they can just continuously donate for it. But that's only that's kind of in the end of your server when it has once it's very developed and has a good amount of players, like 80 plus. I'd say 80 is the minimum that you want to do it. It has to be stable. Just because you have 80 people once, that doesn't mean you can do it. You can go ahead and try it, but I really, really don't recommend that you try doing something like that. And yeah, so it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a ton of work, let me tell you that. And you have to enjoy you have to enjoy playing Minecraft. Because if you don't do that, if you don't enjoy playing Minecraft, it's just going to flop on you, believe me. You need to enjoy what you're doing, and to you, if making money is worth all that, is worth kind of just chugging through there, then, well, you can try and do that, but really, if you're not enjoying it, don't try and do it that much, because it probably won't work if you're not having a lot of enjoyment out of it. Or, yeah, so remember, you can't throw poop on a plate and then expect hundreds of people to just come wanting it, coming eating it. So it's gonna take a lot of work, guys, but if you enjoy it, you can do it. Well, this has been Whofish, me, as always, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it will help you, and I'll see you guys next time.